Hello, here we'll see how to use Kalima with a Node.js server to create a REST API. So then you can develop any web application, for example. So first you can go on our public GitHub repository. So on github.com/kalima-systems, and the repository is Kalima tuto. On this repository, you can find in the directory etc lib JavaScript API, Kalima, and a Java program, Kalima node admin.jar. In fact, it's a Kalima node that you need to run to have Kalima blockchain data. Also, you can go on doc.kalimadb.com in API, in tutorials, Node.js, Kalima Node.js. And here you have a documentation that explains full steps. And to have serial ID for authentication on the blockchain for your Java node, we will see that later. You can go on inscription.tutor.kalimadb.com/airdrop. And here you can enter your email. And then you will receive an email with some information. For example, you have 10 serial IDs for authentication on the blockchain of tutorial blockchain. So first you can start by clone Kalima tuto repository on your PC. And then here I will create a new directory for my Node.js project. For example, Node.js. In this repository, I will create two directories. One directory libs to copy the Kalima JavaScript API, and another main roots. I will also create two files, help.js. This is the entry point of my Node.js server, and a second file in roots named Kalima API imper.js. Now, from the Kalima tuto repository, I will copy the JavaScript Kalima API to my new project. So it is either etc lib JS Kalima. So in my project, in lib, for example, and then I will open my project with Visual Studio Code. Okay. So I will start by app.js. You can find the example here in doc.kalimadb.com. You just can copy and paste this piece of code. So, before I can install some dependencies with npm, I will install .env because I will create environment variables for my project. We need also Express and GTUA because it's used in the JavaScript Kalima API. npm install. Okay. So first we need .env to load environment variables in our project. Big, all right. We need also express. And then we will import our root Kalima API router. So we name it, for example, Kalima API router from roots / Kalima API router. We need some configuration for our project. We need app from express and some configuration. App use deparser.json, express.json, and app use URL encoder. So we express that URL encoded is the option extended methods. Then we can choose a port, a listening port for our server. But I will set this port in the environment file, so I can use process.now.port. And then we will create a route to access to the REST API. I can use the routes I want, for example, /API, and we pass Kalima API router. And you need to export app. And then with Kalima API router, it's the same. You have a little piece of code here that you can copy and paste. Again, we need express. We need router from express. And then we need the import Kalima API from the library there is in libs Kalima. They have two parts. The first one is Kalima API. So from libs /Kalima API. This one is for access to HTTP request to the REST API. And the second one is to access to the event functionality. So when a new data comes in the blockchain, you can receive server sent events on your app, so you can update instantly your UI, for example. So here is Kalima events API. Then we need init our two parts of library. So there is a function in each of one named init, and it takes one parameters. In fact, is a path, and this path needs to be the same for the NodeJS part and the Java part, as we can see later. But I will again set environment variables in a .env file, so I can use process.env file price, for example, and the same for Kalima events API. And then you can create routes to access the Kalima API, Kalima REST API, and to access to the events, to subscribe to events. So we need router.get for the event, and we call it /events. You need rec and raise parameters, and just call Kalima Events API dot add client and pass with rec and raise. This is the same for access to HTTP requests from Kalima API. Here, you set this for all routes, and you call get. And then you can do the same for delete functions and for post functions. And finally, we will export the router. Okay. So then we will configure the Java parts and the .env for our Node.js project. So here I can create .env and node.config. Node.config is for the Java part and .env for our Node.js server. So in the .env, we just need two variables, the port, for example, 1990, and a file path that I will set to // Kalima Node.js. And for the nodes.config, you have again an example in the documentation. You can just copy and paste this. Here you can choose any port, any free port on your computer. Make sure that the file path here is the same of the file path in .env. And to authorize the Kalima node, you need a second ID. So if you use the inscription form, you have 10 serial IDs, so you can copy and paste here. For me, NodeJS. And the provide chain for tutorials is org.kalima.tuto. So then I will copy the Kalima jar, Kalima node admin jar in my project. So again, we need tclib of Kalima tuto, Kalima node admin jar in my project. Okay, and so we need now start the two parts. So the Java part and then the Node.js part. So I can go to my project again, and I run the Java part with Java -jar, the jar, and this program takes one argument. In fact, is the path to the node.config file. So here, node.config. And here I will run the Node.js servers. So with node app.js. And now I can test my Node.js server simply with a curl, for example. http://localhost, the port of the Node.js server, so 1919. in the app.js, we set the start of the URL of our Kalima API router by /API. So /API, and then the request. So for example, cache/lists, and here I have a response for my Node.js server, and you can also found the documentation in the kalima.com in API in REST. You can find the lists of requests you can have with the REST API.